If you don't have buttermilk, you can make you some buttermilk. I've got 3/4 cup of milk and a teaspoon of vinegar. Let's start out by mixing our dry ingredients. We got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to put in a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of baking powder. And you can put in a teaspoon or so of sugar if you like your biscuits a little sweet. And just stir your dry ingredients up really good. Now that we got our dry ingredients stirred up good, we're going to add our lard. You can use lard or you can use shortening, whichever you have. And this is 1/4 cup. And I always keep my lard in the refrigerator so it's cold. And if you have to, just work it up with your fingers. A lot of times I'll just mix it up with my fingers anyways. But just take your fork and just press down on your shortening or your lard and just incorporate it with your flour real good.
It's not unheard of, this resistance.
You don't have to work it too much. You just want your lard or shortening just kind of incorporated and kind of pea-sized pieces in your flour. You can also use part butter and part shortening. Half and half if you wanted to. Just incorporate that pretty good. You can see how it's just kind of in pea-sized pieces. And now we're going to put in our milk. And like I said, you can just use plain milk. It'll take less plain milk than it will buttermilk. I've got 3/4 cup of buttermilk, or you'd use 2/3 cup of regular milk. And I just made me a well in the middle. And I'm just going to pour about half of it. And I'm just going to kind of work my flour in from the sides. Just kind of work it to the middle. And just start blending it. It comes together really fast. And I'm just going to pour some more and just kind of mix. One thing about biscuits, it's kind of like pie crust. You just don't want to work it too much. Of course, Mr. Brown likes hardtack biscuits, so so we're just going to stir till we get it all incorporated. And if you feel like it's still just too dry, you can put a little bit more milk in it, but you don't want your dough too shaggy, because if you do, you'll have to add more flour to it. So just try to incorporate it and get as much of the mixture together out of the bottom of your bowl. It'll all come together pretty easy. Don't be intimidated by it. It's a pretty easy process. Okay, you bring your dough out on your floured surface. And I'm not even using a rolling pin. I'll just press it down with my hands. Whatever you have to cut your biscuits out with, whether if it's a glass, a biscuit cutter, a can, just kind of dip your whatever you're using in the flour and just cut your biscuits out. You don't want to have too much flour on the bottom of your biscuits. Now this will make enough biscuits for 3 or 4 people. And just gather your remnants up. Just kind of press them together. Just don't work it too much, because you can get a few more biscuits out of it. I'm thinking I can get at least 3 more. My pan has been oiled, and my oven is set to 475. And this is going to be a little bitty biscuit, and it's going to be ugly, but it'll be eatable. So we're going to put him right on that pan with the rest of them. It don't matter how pretty they are, just as long as you can eat them. I've got a little bit of melted butter. I'm just going to brush each one with some butter. Give it a good and golden top there and a good buttery taste. And we'll put them, like I said, in a 475-degree oven for about 12 minutes till they're done, golden brown on top and bottom. 12 minutes and the biscuits are out. Feed your faith, my friends, and feed your bodies. Please take care, and God bless.